Hello, my name is Gregorio Gomez,
Hello, my name is Tayler Wiederhold.
and this is going to be a quick walkthrough of our Unix final project. Taylor's going to start us off by going over the first step.
Okay, so I needed for like the installation, I needed a flash drive as well as an external drive and a Windows computer. I started by downloading the Ubuntu ISO file from their website, as well as downloading the Rufus Etcher because I'm using a Windows computer. You can see that in the bottom right video. In the bottom left, I also have a screenshot of the disk manager just showing that I have an unformatted external drive, which is very important for the installation process to make sure that there's not any sort of corruption or data errors. You can see in the video here that I have selected the 8 GB flash drive, which is more than enough for the ISO file, as well as selecting the ISO file that I'd already downloaded from the Ubuntu website and just going through all the settings here. Nothing really needs to be changed because the default's all okay. And then at the end of this video, I just click start and that'll take a couple minutes to fully finish uh, putting that on the drive. There's also an error that pops up asking you to make sure that if you want to completely erase and overwrite the drive, you should click OK on all of that because that's a completely empty drive. And yeah, so next, after making sure that I had the flash drive fully set up, I had to shut down the computer, hold down F9 to go into the boot options, and select that external flash disk. You can see on that image there that I'm selecting the hard drive as generic flash disk. Then you need to, after waiting for it to load a little bit, you select try or install Ubuntu. And then you wait for the installer to finish launching, and then you follow along with the steps. In this video, I have the last couple steps going. All the ones previous to that is just making sure that you have the right language, as well as asking if you want to include any advanced features into your installation. You can see I still have that other flash drive included. Here, I'm just making sure that I have the correct drive selected. I'm using a 2 TB drive, not required for this project, just one that I had. Here, I'm creating our account with our login, naming the computer and setting a password so we can get into the computer. Selecting the time zone. Again, verifying that I have everything set up properly, that I'm using the right files, that it's going to the correct location. And then you just click install and you wait for this to complete. This can take a couple hours depending on your drive strength and Wi-Fi speed. And then we went to the customization after the installation was fully complete and we restarted. We installed the Cinnamon desktop because it's very similar to Windows, which you're both familiar with having Windows computers. To select this new desktop, you went before logging into the computer on like the default. You select that little gear icon to select Cinnamon. You can see in that bottom left screenshot that's the result of the Cinnamon desktop. You can see it's slightly bottom across the top with the icons, as well as has a different backdrop image. Then on the right, I have the command to select to install the XDM display manager, which we chose because it looks pretty cool and it's pretty simple. That middle is just showing the warning that it displays when making sure that you're okay with only having one display manager as well as changing your default. And then in that bottom right corner, that's the resulting login page after changing the display manager.
All right, and then for the second part of the project, we had these three shell scripts that we had to complete, and I'm gonna start by doing a quick walkthrough of the code. Obviously, there'll be a more in-depth explanation in our document that we submit. But for now, I'll just do a quick walkthrough of each script's code and then show a video of them functioning on the new Ubuntu installation. We'll start with icon.sh. This one is very simple. It just creates a desktop icon for a selected script. So it starts right here, uses a Zenity prompt to have the user select a script. And then it does the same thing as entity prompt to have them select the image that's going to be used as the icon. And finally, it has a third entity prompt for them to select a name for the desktop entry. Obviously, all three of those are going to be saved into a variable for later. Right here, we have the file path. And then right here, we use echo commands to create that desktop file. You can see what each of them is doing right here. Right here, we copy the desktop file to the user's actual desktop, and then we make the desktop file executable with this chmod plus x command, obviously using our variables that we've already selected. And then there's one final Zenity info prompt right here. That's just notifying the user that the desktop file has been created and moved to the correct location. The second script was cron job. And this one starts similarly. It uses a Zenity calendar prompt to have the user select a date. Then it has a Zenity prompt for them to select the time in 12-hour format, hour, month, or minute. Then it has them select whether that time was AM or PM. And all three of those are stored into variables. And these two have little error checks right here in case nothing was selected, then they obviously exit out of the script. Right here, this block of code automatically converts the 12-hour time into 24-hour time. That's going to be necessary later for the cron tab command that we're going to run. Right here, we select a script file that is going to be the file that we schedule for running. Then there's another error check right here. This is just asking if the scheduled script is going to need display and X authority variables. You'll see in our video that we're going to say yes to this because we chose to use Zenity. Right here, you just select the repetition schedule. It's important to note that this is using the list flag. So your only options are once a day, week, month, or year. Right here, we're just calculating some extra variables to use. And then this case is again just setting up for right here where we actually run the cron tab command. And this is when we're in the video, when we check the terminal, we'll see that this is actually what's adding this job. And then there's one more Zenity pop-up just saying cron job added. All right, and then the third and final script is the shortest, create backup. This self-explanatory, it creates a backup of a selected file, or sorry, a selected source directory. And you can see that right here. It starts off with a Zenity prompt asking the user to select a source directory. And you can see this, the directory flag makes sure that they don't select anything else. Then it has a second Zenity prompt that's just asking them to select the destination. This is where they want that backup to be stored. Both of those have error checks right here. They'll exit if they don't select anything. And then this is the important part right here. This command is what's actually creating that backup. You can see it's sending it to this destination that we saved earlier. And then it's got that source, which obviously was the very first thing we selected. And then right here, one last entity pop-up either saying the backup succeeded or the backup failed. And then here are the videos. We're going to start by playing the icon video. Okay, and then you can see the first entity pop up right here, just asking to select the script. And we select icon itself, perfectly fine. Okay, then it asks for the image that we want to use as the icon. We just select a random screenshot. Asking for a name right here for this new desktop entry. All right, we type something in, we press OK. Has a little pop-up telling us it was successful. And then if we open up our files and we actually navigate to the user's desktop folder, you can see that that shortcut right there. All right, next we're going to show the cron job video. All right, you can see first of all, when we run cron tab beforehand, there's nothing in there. So there's no job scheduled. All right, and then we run that script. Starts by asking us to select a date. Asks us for 12-hour time. It tells us right there what the format should be. I think right there we just select 3:15. Then we select PM. Now it's going to ask us what script we actually want to run. I'm pretty sure right here we select create backup. Yep. Okay, then it's that asking us if it requires those variables. We say yes. Repetition schedule, we got that list that we went over right here, and we're going to select once a week. And then we get the confirmation saying the job's been added. And right here, we're just going to double check that, running cron tab one more time. And you can see right there that new job's been added in the terminal. Okay, and then last but not least, the create backup video. We run it. It asks us for a source directory. Doesn't really matter. We just select downloads here. Then it asks us for a destination folder. We made one in advance, just called test. We get that Zenity confirmation pop-up. And then if we go into our files and we check, yeah, go into test and you can see that backup right there. If you click into it, you can see that full directory has been backed up. Okay. And then right here, there's just a little bonus. We noticed afterwards that icon.sh doesn't actually show that icon being created. So I just went into our class VM real quick, recorded another video. You can see the same pop-ups are going to happen. Select the script, select the image right here, just a generic user image. You can see there's nothing on the desktop. We have the name and it pops up right there. And then right here, we just have the two very short scripts, update network and update packages. Obviously, the code for these will be included in our final submission, but they're very short, so no need to include them in this presentation. This is just a quick video of them actually running. We can 2x this because it's just going to be a bunch of updates. Update network, obviously, updates the network tools. And you can just see as soon as we start it and type in our password, you see a bunch of updates going through on the terminal. And then you get a little Zenity pop-up telling you succeeded. And then update packages, similarly, we just hard-coded several packages to start. And then as soon as we press enter and then have some things we need to say yes to, you can just see a bunch of updates start coming through on the terminal, and then you get a little Zenity prompt telling you succeeded. And that's the end of our little walkthrough. Once again, this is just a quick demonstration of everything we did, including making the actual Ubuntu hard drive, setting it up, making sure everything ran, finishing up all these scripts, coding them, and then running them on our new computer system, making sure everything worked as expected. And yeah, Taylor, anything else to add?
No, I think that's everything.
All right, in that case, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for your time.